I'm not engaged with portraiture that's really just about a nice likeness or a pretty picture of someone just sitting there. You know, it has to have something poetical and historical attached to it, I think, to make it a successful work. And yeah, you have to be kind of enraptured by that subject in some way, I think, to kind of really make a good work. The one I did last year of Sean Gladwell was about exploring what I knew about him. He's a very gentle kind of character when you meet him, but he's an incredibly driven person. And I guess I wanted to reveal that a bit in the portrait, his intensity, which you don't always see, I don't think, when you meet him. I guess it's always about me taking that person to a place where there is something that there's going to be a response to. And when I've taken, you know, my friends into, you know, Belanglo State Forest or to Bundanon and Arthur Boyd's property, you know, there's a lot of memory in those places, and you know, it's about engaging with that story. And I think with Penelope, just taking her to Kalara and just seeing, you know, feeling it myself, feeling the actual space was incredible, like laden with so much memory and history, and to see her response to that was really interesting, and it kind of revealed to me a little bit more about her. So this is the little airbrush I use, and you put paint or mix up some paint. I'm just using this pure colour, and yeah, it has a little lever on it that you can kind of pull backwards and forwards, and it sort of adjusts the sort of pressure coming out of it because it's attached to a compressor. So let's test it. This is a landscape from Bundanon, and I've been doing a lot of work down there, going down to Arthur Boyd's place, and yeah, I guess in a way referencing a lot of his stories as well from down there. So I'm just going to work a bit on the leaves. So I just go in and I just bringing some of it into focus. And I was exploring, you know, at art school using spray cans and doing all sorts of things. I was looking for something that was kind of visceral, I guess, that would affect you when you looked at it with your eyes. And I discovered that when I was using the airbrush, dropping things in and out of focus next to each other made the surface vibrate in some way. And it kind of was this really intense process looking at it, because your eyes would just, you couldn't really find a single focal point, an entry point into the painting. So, you know, that kind of, you know, at the time I was painting all these, you know, I was going to Belanglo State Forest and looking at that kind of paranoid space. So I was trying to convey that with the technique as well. So the technique was kind of carrying this content with it as well. My main focus with my work is the figure in the landscape. It's not so much about portraiture as such. And the work that I have in the Sulman, you know, references this story of John Black Caesar, who was our first bushranger. And he was a black slave from America who got freed to England and ended up coming here as a convict. And he met this woman called Anne Power, who came out on the Lady Juliana, which was a ship of mostly women and mostly prostitutes, and somehow they met and had a relationship, and they had a child together. And yeah, I guess I was just imagining in a way what it must have been like in that sort of landscape that must have been so foreign. And you know, when the convicts were sent here, you know, it sort of became confirmed as this sort of dark underworld. And I think that sort of, the landscape's always been sort of animated with these hidden energies, and a lot of my work kind of delves into that, I guess.